We're back again with Pace Webb of Taste of Pace, and we're giving you everything you need to know about catering for your wedding. So the next question we have for you are, what are the hidden costs? What are the things that couples aren't asking about that can really affect their budget when it comes to catering?
There are some things, and I cannot stand hidden costs. I'm the kind of person, I'm like, just give it all to me straight because I don't want to be hit with surprises later. And it's tricky because when you're planning a wedding, chances are you've never planned another event before in your life. This is your first event that you're planning. So how do you know all these questions to ask? That's what I'm here for.
Nice.
Probably the biggest thing that we get, a lot of couples know that rentals come along with it, especially if you have an estate wedding or basically anywhere except for a hotel that might require you to bring in extra rentals. That is another expense that can be anywhere from $700 on the low end to $4,000 if you need to bring in generators and things like that. So definitely ask that up front, and any good caterer should be able to give you a good estimate even before you contract with them of what that could be depending on your venue.
So when you're talking about rentals, are you talking about like the
Just the kitchen.
Just the kitchen.
Just the kitchen.
So just the items for the kitchen. You want to know
cooking equipment, tents, delivery, setup, ovens.
Got it.
It really adds up.
So many venues don't. I mean, if you're getting married in the forest or anywhere like that, you have to bring that all in.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of venues that are, beautiful about an hour outside of town that don't have kitchen build outs at all. Okay, so there's that. And then family style is this just huge craze that I could say a lot more about that.
We'll get to it. I think we have a question about that later.
Good, the style of service. The platters alone for your wedding, you have to have basically, let's say you're doing a salad and then 2 proteins, 2 sides, which is about standard, right? So that's 5 dishes. Plus you want to have 1 or 2 for backup. Plus you need serving utensils for each of those per table. So you're talking 6 platters per table of a good sized platter. It's usually an extra $2,000 just to rent the family style platters and serving utensils. So when people see that additional cost come onto the rental, or like, I had no idea. And I feel like, why would you even think of something like that? So I'm the worst salesperson. I'm like, if you want to, we can just put it down to a silver wedding package, do a buffet style, and it'll be fine. It's so beautiful. We'll work with the florist and...
But that's good to know. So if you are a little overwhelmed by the additional rentals for a family style of service, maybe opt for a buffet where there's less
platters.
Platter rentals.
And usually
involved.
A catering company can supply, depending on availability, they can supply their own in-house rentals for something like that.
Got it. What else have you found? What about like tableware, flatware, and that?
People kind of know that they I feel like bride and groom kind of are going, where do you get all the stuff that people eat on? So they kind of have that idea beforehand.
It's all the other things.
Those are the main hidden things, I would say, the family style platters and serving utensils, and then the kitchen rental and build out. People expect plates, napkins, and glassware. I would say another thing that you could really save on is delivery fees. So a rental company will deliver to you usually the day of the event or the day before and pick up the day after. A lot of venues you have to do a timed delivery and a timed pickup, and it's like 4 to 8 times the cost of a normal delivery. So if there's any leeway at all with your venue, that's why you have to be super nice to your venue, because if they don't have an event the day before or don't have a day event after, and you're really, really nice, then maybe they'll allow for a next day pickup and save you some money.
Great. Oh, I have one more question too about cost. What do you think in terms of, some caterers quote gratuity and taxes and some don't? And I know that can be a little confusing as a couple going out. So kind of what's your take on that?
I think sales tax should be pretty standard across any contract. I know in the state of California right now, it's 9.25%, or at least in the Southern California area. In terms of gratuity, a lot of people will include it. We personally don't include it because we want it to be based on the performance of our team. So we always make sure to say that's not included. And people will ask, well, what is customary? Well, we say, depending on how happy you were, it could be a percentage of the food and beverage portion of the bill, or a flat rate per person, keeping in mind that captains and lead chefs have more responsibility and should be compensated differently than a cook or a server.
Definitely. I mean, I think a lot of times the range is like 15 to 22% and upwards, depending on
Yeah.
how happy you are with the service.
Yeah, totally.
Great. Well, thanks, Pace, for breaking down some of those hidden costs. Hopefully you'll find this helpful as you are meeting with different caterers across the country. And remember to subscribe, like, and follow us so that you can continue getting tips so that you can plan your wedding day with complete confidence.